What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. SOD, or Season of Discovery, is approaching very quickly, and I'm sure a bunch of you are sitting there thinking, what class do I want to play? Well, luckily, I am going down the list, and I'm making a video for every single class explaining all the runes available for that class, so you can make a nice informed decision. I will say that every class seems really strong in Season of Discovery, so without further ado, in this video, we're going to be going over the Shaman. Okay, so for the Shaman, let's start with the chest engravings. The first spell that we have is Healing Rain. Most of you might know Healing Rain, but it's a little bit different than the Healing Rain you're used to. Healing Rain selects the area 15 yards around the target player and heals all of the target player party members within that area for 20 every second. Next up on the list, we have Shield Mastery. Each time you block, you regenerate mana equal to 4% of your maximum mana, and you gain armor equal to 30% of your shield's armor value, stacking up to 5 times. You also always gain 10% increased chance to block and 15% increased block value. A nice tanking rune right there. I'm sure most of you have already heard that Shamans are going to be pretty beefy tanks in Season of Discovery, so right there we have Shield Mastery. That's a pretty awesome one. Next up here we have Dual Wield Specialization. Increase your chance to hit with both spells and melee attacks by 5% while dual wielding. And your Storm Strike ability now hits with both weapons while dual wielding, so that's pretty good too. Storm Strike's going to feel a lot better in vanilla, and obviously dual wielding Shamans are just so much fun. Next up on the list here, we have Overload. Gives your Lightning Bolt, Chain Lightning, Chain Heal, Healing Wave, and Lava Burst spells a 33% chance to cast a second similar spell on the same target at no additional cost that causes half damage or healing and no threat. Very cool too. That's a talent that we have in Wrath. I'm pretty sure I haven't played my Shaman in Wrath. The last time I played him was in TBC, but I'm pretty sure Shamans get like free cast lightning bolts and things like that, so maybe they stole that from there, or maybe it's a little bit different. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments below. I'm not 100% sure on that. But anyway, let's move on to the leg engravings. Okay, so first up on the list here for the leg engravings, we have Earth Shield. Protects the target with an earthen shield, reducing casting or channeling time lost when damaged by 30%, and causing attacks to heal the shielded target for 100. This effect can only occur once every few seconds. It has 3 charges and lasts 10 minutes. Earth Shield can only be placed on one target at a time, and only one elemental shield can be active on a target at a time. Next up, we have Way of Earth. While Rockbiter weapon is active on your main weapon, you deal 100% increased threat, gain 30% increased health, take 10% reduced damage, gain 6% reduced chance to be critically hit by melee attacks, and Earth Shock taunts the target to attack you and has a separate cooldown from other shock spells, but has its range reduced to melee range. Another pretty big tanking ability right there. Then we have Shamanistic Rage. Reduces all damage you take by 20%, and you regenerate mana every second for 15 seconds. Mana regenerated per second is equal to 15% of your attack power, 10% of your spell power, or 6% of your healing power, whichever value is greatest. Another big one right there, that's going to make Shamans pretty viable when it comes to DPSing, especially in raids, and even long boss fights. They're going to be able to sustain that mana now. Next up on the list here, we have Ancestral Guidance. For the next 10 seconds, 25% of your damage is converted to healing on up to 3 party members, and 100% of your healing is converted to damage on the most recent Flame Shock target. That's pretty cool. Not sure if this has been in any version of the game so far. I have not been a big Shaman player, but Ancestral Guidance here in Season of Discovery, that sounds pretty cool. That sounds like you can kind of heal by doing damage, and vice versa, right? If you're healing, you can actually put a Flame Shock on like a boss or some mobs that your raid's trying to burn down and do some damage to them by healing as well. So that seems pretty cool. So let's move on to the hand engravings. Okay, first up on the list for hand engravings, we have Water Shield. The caster is surrounded by 3 globes of water, granting 1% of your maximum mana per 5 seconds. When a spell, melee, or ranged attack hits the caster, 4% of the maximum mana is restored to the caster. This expends 1 water globe. Only 1 globe will activate every few seconds, lasts 10 minutes, only 1 elemental shield can be active on the Shaman at any time, so it's the same water shield that we got in TBC and forward. Next up on the list here, we have Lava Lash. I'm sure a lot of you Shaman buffs are excited about this. You charge your offhand weapon with lava, instantly dealing 100% offhand weapon damage. Damage is increased by 20% if your offhand weapon is enchanted with Flame Tongue. Then we have Lava Burst, which is another cool one here. You hurl molten lava at the target, dealing 198 to 256 fire damage. If your Flame Shock is on the target, Lava Burst will deal a critical strike. So Flame Strike is going to always be on your target, so Lava Burst is always going to crit. Lava Burst to me is one of those iconic Shaman abilities from TBC forward, so I'm really happy to see it in vanilla. It's going to be pretty crazy. I mean, think about all these spells being used in World PvP, especially in the Ashen Vale World PvP zone that we've been told about. This is going to make for some pretty crazy fights, and I actually cannot wait to see how this unfolds. And last but not least, we have Molten Blast. Blast enemies in a cone in front of you for 40 to 55 damage. This ability generates a high amount of threat. Flame Shock periodic damage has a 10% chance to reset the cooldown on Molten Blast. So it's kind of like an AoE threat generator. Think of it as like Cone of Cold without a slow, and it generates some threat. And your Flame Shock, constantly ticking damage, can reset Molten Blast as well to help you maintain that threat if you're tanking dungeons or raids. So from these runes, and these are only the runes that up to level 25, it seems like Shaman are going to be pretty viable tanks and be able to hold up as pretty good DPS as well. They've always been decent healers, but to be able to see them in vanilla as nice tanks or DPS is going to be a really cool change of pace. So any of you big Shaman players out there, I think these are some pretty good runes. I don't know, let me know down in the comments below how you guys feel about them. But yeah, guys, that's all for the Shaman. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button. It really does help me out a lot. And subscribe to the channel. Turn on post notifications so you don't miss the next time I post a video. And if you want to hang out with me live, I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/hammerdance. I'll drop a link to that in the description below. I'm live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. But anyways, guys, that's all from me. Thank you all so much for watching and listening in. I'll see you all in the next one.